Welcome to the Overwatch Scrub Cup First Fun Friday Brawl. This is a brawl called Underdogs, and I am Muikaikbo. I am streaming. With me are the two casters for today, ThetaZero and Pibs. Introduce yourself, guys.
Hi, I'm ThetaZero, and that's Pibs.
Hi, how is everybody? Welcome.
Well done. We're rushing through a little. We're going to get right to the action as quickly as we can. We're going to do Eichenwalde to start off with, but this brawl is basically taking 12 of the less picked heroes and making people play on that. So I'll hand it off to our two casters.
Right, so the class limits, if I can just read them really quick. So the only playable characters are D.Va, Hanzo, Junkrat, Lucio, McCree, Mercy, Orisa, Reapers, Sombra, Torbjörn, Winston, and Zenyatta. And this is a best of 3 game using competitive rule sets. And explain how we balance the teams, Pibs.
Well, it was a bit of a catastrophe who was setting up this game, and we had a lot of players dropping and coming. It's a pickup game style, so people just sign up on the Discord and they're expected to just sort of show up at this time. So naturally, people are gonna be doing other things, are gonna forget about it. So we wound up we have 3 bronze players in here and a top 500 player in here. I think it might be fun to not mention who's who, and just see if that shows itself. But so we've got on the blue team, which is Need Heals, their average is 24.33, and on the red team, their average is 21.35. It was about as close as we could get it, I think, with the vast range of SRs that we had. But
And the teams are blue team is Heals Please, and red team is Hanzo Main's unofficial team names decided for them. And we're already getting started. So what do you see in the offense for red team here?
So they're running a D.Va Sombra with a Winston, McCree, Zenyatta Lucio. We're going to see a lot of Zenyatta Lucio since there are only 2 actual healers available here. Already a little bit of a poke battle coming out on the side of red as they're sort of just waiting for their advance. I think Winston's cooldown is perhaps waiting to recharge. There's the wind jump from Winston. Not much follow-up yet. He's going to actually have to back off a little bit as they lose their Sombra and their McCree. Blue is going to lose their Zenyatta, but I think that's going to be just enough to hold it back. On the side of blue, we're seeing D.Va, Orisa for the shield there, and they're having a Reaper for a little bit of harassment there. He's doing actually a good job of harassing on top of the archway, while McCree's in the back line, and also Zenyatta Lucio. This is going to come down to which pair of Zenyatta Lucio get their ult first, and so far red team has the vast advantage as far as that goes.
So blue team already having a pretty defensive front line. That Orisa shield is making a really big difference here. And here comes the Winston to engage. And looks like red team's actually following up on that. They're trying to get into that left side, but blue team shutting them down almost immediately.
Dirty shot there by Red Tie on Zenyatta there to just shut down that push. Without one of your DPS players, it's not smart to jump. But Winston, literally as I'm saying that, Winston jumps in and he's going to be singled out and die instantly.
So it looks like that D.Va defense matrix on defense is making a very big difference here. Winston's having a lot of trouble getting in with that Zenyatta and the Reaper, just shutting him down the moment he tries to engage, and Hanzo Main's not really capitalizing on that.
We're seeing a really key stall here by blue team because red team had both of those support ults up first, but now Rentai just got that Zenyatta ult, so now the ults are even, and they're going to be able to hold out essentially on the next push if they use their ults correctly.
Here comes
It's just a small timing error. Orisa Charger, she's put that bongo drum on the ground just to add a little more damage, a little more poke, and everybody's charging their ult now on the red team. Although they do lose a Zenyatta.
And I have to say, I'm loving the chaos. Just absolute miscommunication, players just doing their own thing. But it's favoring the defense right now, as they really only have one place they need to focus on. So even if they're uncoordinated, the way the game works is they'll just group up in this area, just unintentionally.
Geno's doing work on Reaper here, picking up 2 more kills. It's going to buy at least 12-20 seconds of respawn time right there. And Stormy going down as well for the red team. Just a lot of staggering here going on.
Yeah, Stormy realizing that the Winston isn't working out with that Zenyatta and Reaper, just focusing them down, deciding to go Orisa to just maintain that front line.
It's interesting because you've got you could really counterpick almost before the round starts here, knowing that there are so few characters to choose from. It's almost MOBA-esque.
So red team finally making it through the gate. EMP from Sombra shutting down, but didn't get the Zenyatta, managing to ult and keep his teammates alive. Still, blue team losing their Orisa. D.Va ult coming out, let's see if it picks anyone. Gets Stormy. Red team not looking so good for them. Struggling to get on the point. They just about got that tick down, which will help them out in the future push, but this is just about over for them.
Well, just like we said there, the proper use of the Zenyatta ult completely shut down that push. Yeah, the D.Va ult cleared some space, but I don't think they would have even honestly needed it there. The Zenyatta ult kept them all alive, and it was a split push, so they were able to hold it without even giving up a tick. Winston's going to initiate here for the side of red by himself. Maple not really getting the backup that he's looking for as he dies already. He does force the sound barrier out of Uvalde though, but 2 kills already coming out for the blue team as the D.Va is going to come to the side of red, is going to get Orisa down, and they're going to follow up with the Zenyatta ult, trying to keep the team alive for the rest of this fight. See if he can get one more pick. Looks like they're all trying to take down the D.Va here, but their focus is switching to Reaper as he's been doing work. Jenna's picking up a kill, Havi picking up a kill, Tryhard picking up a kill, Uvalde picking up a kill, and everyone on the blue team doing work. Literally everyone now. Only 3 players left alive for red. They do have the spawn advantage here though, as the Winston is, no, now he goes down and Sombra will be the last alive. She goes down too as the overtime clock will tick down to 0. And that's the match, or well actually that's the first half of the match.
So we also need to consider the hero limitations here. So would you say that this sort of setup favors defense? And I would say it would. A lot of reasons why higher picked heroes are picked is just because of their sheer offensive capability. Soldier 76, very dangerous at any range. Anna being able to basically keep herself healed up, deny heals to the enemy team, really offensive focused for top picks. And lower tier heroes seem to maybe focus a more defensive mindset.
I'm going to have to look at this list closely, but I think generally, yes, I would agree with you mostly because of the tanks, that basically all you can pick is Winston and D.Va. Orisa is just really hard to use on offense, just really hard to use on offense. So the ability to, like I was saying, you can pre-counter pick, knowing they're going to run Winston and D.Va, and we only have these few options. There's going to be a few characters that are really good against that. So
sorry, go ahead.
Well, we're seeing Mercy. Was that one of the options? That's what I wanted to ask there.
Yes.
Can you just repeat the options? I think you went through them really quick. So quick, I don't even remember them. I actually want to write them down. Maybe some other people do as well.
So for supports, you can only have Lucio, Mercy, and Zenyatta, which is actually very generous, especially considering Lucio being available. For defense, you have Torbjörn, Junkrat, and Hanzo. And as for offense, you have McCree, Sombra, and I think that's about it. So very limited options here.
Okay, so, and then tanks, right? We got Winston, D.Va, and Orisa. Right?
Yes. So
McCree and Sombra, and Reaper, that's the third D.Va. Yeah.
So both teams trying out the Junkrat this time around, maybe realizing that we have this very powerful choke point, but Eichenwalde's been patched. It has a new little alternate entrance here that blue team is already taking advantage of, pushing red team back significantly already, but the Torbjörn turret going up, both D.Vas trying to protect their teams, allowing both Junkrats to spam down that little point. And the Lucio got trapped, but just barely didn't make it out of there. But still, blue team forcing their way, muscling their way onto the point, and kind of sneaking behind red team. Very smart use of the Orisa shield to protect the Torbjörn turret while the team is distracted. The Torbjörn turret actually just kind of doing work on the point just from long range. And that Torbjörn turret still causing a lot of trouble, making the supports and the Sombra trying to back off. Torbjörn turret getting rebuilt now, which I don't really agree with, was doing perfectly fine where it was, and getting hassled by the Winston. But all of red team making sure that Torbjörn turret is built, shutting down the Winston. Now we have Molten Core coming out, trying to shut down this push for red team. But look at red team's Mercy, already having the res ready. But same thing for blue team's Mercy. So we'll see if the Sombra ult is enough to change the tides. very beautiful D.Va ultimate coming in from blue team. Junkrat ult coming in, but here comes the undo button from the Mercy Res, seeing if red team can hold on to this point just for the last few seconds. And it looks like they're going to be able to push blue team back for this very extended team fight. And Maple doing a ton of work on Torbjörn. I feel like Pibs, are you there? Pibs was overwhelmed by this very extensive team play. He's just absolutely speechless.
I was just floored, just absolutely blown away by the mute button on my microphone.
Oh.
I'm ready to initiate.
Well, it's good to have you back. So, mute button can play the game for this caster session right now. But
So yeah, I was just thinking about that. Torbjörn ults and then the subsequent Mercy res. Blue team managing to force a few ults out of res by continuing that fight because the Sombra had such a quick respawn. So maybe here they can do something. Winston initiating with his ult, knocking around Junkrat, knocking around Torbjörn, but he's going to go down quickly, and blue is going to invest their sound barrier, so that should allow them some holding power here. Still not any ticks coming on the point. Genos really in the face with D.Va here. Rentai doing his best to keep him alive, but he's going to have to start healing Junkrat over here on the right. Maple really in their face with Torbjörn, kind of being really evasive as Genos has to choose targets here. Kills coming in for blue though, as they couldn't agree on a target, and that's going to be at least the first tick here. Junkrat up on the high ground here being contested, but all they needed was the first tick to win the match. Wow, I really thought that red was taking that, the tide was in their favor at the beginning of that fight, but their D.Va, you could see, was trying to sort of direct everyone towards a target. But everyone was all over the place there with their target priority, and the sustained damage of the McCree and the Junkrat to clean up the Winston cleave was enough to just get him that point because of the length of the fight.
I really have to give credit for Maple on Torbjörn. It was really clever to work with B-Clip, getting that Orisa shield down on the Torbjörn sentry so that Maple can actually kind of play Torbjörn as a defense hero while the sentry is still protected by the shield, getting free picks basically. That sentry was a very key component in Red's defense, but it wasn't enough to hold off blue for the entirety of the time that they were given. And it let them get the just barely before the first tick, closing out with those.
So we saw that Genos was doing work there. He had 23 elims on the Reaper, so definitely contributed to that match quite a bit. So looks like it's going to be gosh, I don't even recall which team name now corresponds with which color here.
I believe it was red is Hanzo mains and blue is heals, please.
All right, so now that's gonna switch here, going into Eichenwalde. Blue is gonna be, or whatever the next map is decided on. Blue is gonna be Hanzo mains, and red is gonna be heals, please. Here.
So the next map is gonna be Hanamura, and if Heals Please manages to get a round win from this, we're going to see a tiebreaker on Nepal. So it looks like just for this first game, both teams were sort of adapting to the limited hero pool, identifying what would work on offense, what would work on defense. You saw a very clever play with the Orisa shield. Tasha, Hanzo mains just taking a quick break.
Yeah, you know, off tanks can really go understated a lot of the time, but here we're getting to see a character that normally plays off tank forced into the main tank position. I guess that's kind of where Orisa's falling. Maybe I'm quick to jump to the assumption that she's an off tank, but it seems like right now in the community that's where she is. And so she had gold damage that time, almost 15,000 damage. So just really laying down a lot of damage, and you saw a good number of pulls that got 4 people in them as well. That sort of stuff is intangible, doesn't get often noticed or really reported on, but it has huge impacts on battles.
Yeah, and it seems to me that without Reinhardt and with these heroes, Orisa becomes extremely important in comps because she's now your main source of barriers and she's one of your few steady damage streams.
Speaking of Orisa, what do you think of those PDR changes for her?
Well, they're obviously trying to push her towards being more of a main tank instead of the damage-dealing off-tank that she is now. I'm just not sure how well it's going to go over. I would have liked to have seen a little more gradual change in that role.
Well, it seems they're doing quite a bit of balancing in the PTR right now. There's been so many little changes, and then a lot of these characters that people have forgotten about.
Well, I want you to just remember the most significant change in the PTR patch notes. That 1 point of damage reduction on Soldier 76.
That is huge.
That, but unironically, if you start to look at how long it takes him to burn down a Reinhardt shield by himself.
Very true. I remember looking at the statistics for it, and it was something along the lines of Hanzo was now better at breaking down Reinhardt shields than a Soldier 76. So let's look at the composition, at least for defense. Blue team, which is now Hanzo mains, is now defending. Looks like they're going to go for that Torbjörn protected by Orisa strategy. Still running the Junkrat, still running the Mercy to get that key resin. Have a D.Va as well. Looks like a very good defensive set right here.
Attackers incoming in 30
So we're gonna see on the side of red that Zen Lucio, just as we were expecting from them. They've got the Winston coming in for a dive, Reaper in there, and McCree. D.Va as well, so hopefully they can get the Winston onto the same target, and then get some quality damage because the team will be distracted by those divers.
4, 3.
But the Torbjörn turret is going to make that really difficult, increases raw damage output as well, plus they've got a defensive D.Va. They don't have problems here.
And red team's D.Va already aware of the Torbjörn turret, not even letting Maple get a single point of ult charge. Havi already getting a pick on Junkrat.
Wow, blue team just going down one by one here. Headshots coming out everywhere on the side of McCree, on the side of D.Va. Fights get the head inside the point here, almost, as Blue's managing to get a couple of picks for themselves.
Red team just collapsing on blue, not giving a good chance to really set up a good defensive line, and just barging their way onto the point and getting that first cap almost immediately on their first push.
We saw them fall back to point, and they did get 2 good picks as they fell back, but it was not nearly quick enough, as Javi already in the face of the enemy Junkrat here, who's gonna manage to kill him while getting himself away. Persoft barely surviving that fight. But
The reversal of fortune. So, blue team already getting setting up. Maple fully aware of that fantastic Torbjörn's turret spot. Not getting the shield from Orisa, which is really strange. Orisa instead opting to protect her team on the point with that shield. Junkrat spamming down that choke point, and red team just trying to find an opening to get it in.
The Orisa Torbjörn thing is still still kind of a new strategy. She seems to just be using it as a Reinhardt shield, and honestly, that's kind of a smart move here. Because the D.Va's shutting down the McCree actually pretty well, pretty actively. Skycode paying attention there in the defense matrix. Javi is going to invest his high noon into this fight and take down Tashatops. That is pretty big, because that'll prevent Tashatops from getting the res in this fight. Blue team forced to invest in their Zenyatta ult, probably because the Mercy went down. And kills coming out from both sides here, but blue with the spawn advantage, I think, is just going to hold this out there. D.Va and Zenyatta are still alive for red team, but yeah, all the respawns now in for blue. That's going to be the end of that push. Not even a tick taken there. I don't know, ults invested from both sides.
So, blue team getting their defensive line reset up, looking like they're going to be opting for that high ground defense again. Orisa setting up, just protecting that choke point right there.
Red taking a very long time to organize here. If blue would just push on one of these units here, they'd really have a free kill. As Winston jump in by himself. He is on the point, and Mercy going to go down again. Tashatops now 2 fights in a row, unable to get that res up. This is huge for them. Could be huge in the long run.
Once again, that spawn advantage coming in. Blue team maintaining that high ground, red team just trying to find a way to get in, making sure that a Torbjörn turret just caused them so much trouble goes down, and the Zen ult popping out.
Reaper's having a lot of trouble getting involved in this fight. He's now engaged with Torbjörn in a one-on-one, which he does win. Now the fight will progress to the point. Not a very clear engagement, but they sort of arrive there at the same time. Tashatops finally getting that res off at the most clutch time. Tryhard responds with his Reaper ult, gets 3 with it. That's huge. D.Va coming in from Genos doesn't get any value from it, but that's fine because Torbjörn's going to go down. He only managed to build a level 1 turret. Bathathor dropping his shield right at the back of the point, and Happy using the McCree ult to clear some space. Not going to get anything with it as the blue team's D.Va ult now coming in. Gonna take the enemy D.Va out of her mech. Tryhard still alive on the Reaper with Zenyatta behind him. Skycode actually got 2 kills with that, though Winston and the D.Va, so that's actually gonna shut down that push. There's no tanks left on the side of red. They're gonna try to stall out here, but they did get 2 ticks. They just need to back out. They've got no tanks left here.
So maybe that Orisa ult making a huge difference. It's hard to really tell how much of an impact Orisa ult has, but my goodness, does it have such a huge range and such a long duration.
She's, I think we start calling her the intangibles character, because that's another thing. Her ult, you never feel it, but man, it does a lot. You never the Orisa ult took out 4 players. That never happens. Winston already on point here. He gets killed really quickly though, although Persoft also goes down as the Junkrat for blue team. Renta's going to invest in the Zenyatta ult and force the B-clip to drop his sound barrier on the side of blue. Skycode and Maple both going down for blue. Good kills coming on for the side of red. Yukali is going to take out Skycode in his mech, but already back inside the mech here. Red team now investing their sound barrier. They're all boosted and on the point, covered with that sound barrier. This could be it. Javi is going to get that McCree ult off again. Gets 2 with it, the support and the tank. Heroes never die though, as the support and the tank right back onto the battlefield. McCree going down the side of blue, B-Clip trying to contest the point, but he goes down. Winston's using his ult, he's stuck in a Junkrat trap, but it's not going to matter as Stormy was unable to get onto the point in time as Orisa there, would have died anyways. And that's going to be Hanamura taken right there on the side of...
Heals, please.
Oh, heals, please. I'm just gonna keep calling him red and blue. You guys can do the math at home.
So I have to say, Javi doing a really good job on McCree. Strange considering that the player Tryhard McCree is playing Reaper on heals, please. Blue team actually did manage to stall out a decent amount of time, considering that Hanzo mains manages to, or heals please, I'm sorry, managing to get the first cap on their first push. So stalling out for about 4.5 straight minutes, it seems like, is nothing really to cough at.
That's actually a very good point. Perhaps we could have seen a little bit more staying power on the side of the attackers there. They were running the Reaper and McCree, which can get you picks, but once you get on the point, that's not a lot of staying power, although I guess the options are pretty limited here. I don't think Sombra is a much better option for staying power, so there's always that.
I really hope that we get to see the Hanzo this time around. I mean, it is the namesake for red team. Ironically enough, blue team just heals please instead of Hanzo mains, but hopefully we'll see Maple stick with that choice.
You know, Hanzo and Orisa have a really good synergy. You know, she can just use the halt to pull them together, and that's a mini grab, basically. I'd like to maybe see a team try for that at some point today.
Yeah, I do have to point out both Orisas are doing a fantastic job of supporting their team, which is sort of Orisa's role as a very strange kind of support tank. But here we're getting started. Looks like blue team is opting for the Sombra push with the Hanzo, so we'll see how that moves out.
And they are going to do the Orisa Hanzo. So, and Sombra. So this is an old comp. They're just going to be poking here, or if they're hoping, I think, with this strategy, we're going to poke here, get those ults up, and try to get a big combo off of EMP, halt, and Hanzo. Kills already coming in for the side of red, though, as Javi takes down Hanzo. There, Winston is going to go down, though, outside there. Got kind of caught out of position. Javi going to go down on the side of red as well, so now blue's up one, and they're going to start pushing together. Reaper's going to teleport up and try to engage on D.Va here on the high ground. That's going to be a big engagement here. Lucio and Reaper forcing the D.Va off of the high ground, and now Mercy a little bit out of position, but she's lucky she get up that alive, as the fight is forced onto the point. What do you see inside the point there?
Well, I'm seeing Stormy having a very fantastic job on Sombra at target recognition, focusing Javi, which was the major firepower force for Hanzo mains, and hacking the D.Va mech so that she couldn't get that pesky defense matrix up to protect her team, and blue team just capitalizing on it.
But Tryhard doing work here on the Reaper, takes out the enemy tank, now takes D.Va as she gets actually pooped off by the enemy D.Va. Combined kill there, combined effort for that one. Lucio's getting zoned off the point, rather Sombra as well. And that is going to be a hold with it. Not even a tick given up. Wow, that really, really long fight on the point there for not a single tick.
It seemed like it was in favor for heals please, but Hanzo mains managing to turn it around at the last second.
But it was, but that's Reaper's specialty, right? When it seems like it's just starting to turn the tide, that's when he pokes his head in and just gets killed, which is exactly what he did. He took out the tank then he forced the other tank off the map, and then contributed to the other support. That was huge. So engagements coming out from both sides here, just at the front line. A bit of spam battle going on as Javi's going to take out Stormy, so Lucio won't be able to push for at least another 15 seconds while their Sombra respawns. Tryhard, very patient with that Reaper, just waiting, just waiting. His ult's actually at 95%, so when this engagement happens, finally he will have the Reaper ult to invest there.
Reaper playing a better stealth character than Sombra.
They've also got the Mercy ult on defense here, as their sound barrier comes out right away. That was a lot coming out right there from the side of Red. Hanzo ult and Lucio invested right away.
And it looks like Hanzo mains aren't paying attention to the point right now, almost letting Heals Please get a free tick, but they immediately collapse down, recognizing that, hey, are we supposed to defend right now? And just coming back to the point, shutting down those two pesky Heals Please team members, just sitting on the point getting free cap.
Yeah, I wonder if that was intentional, actually, or not, because it was just D.Va on the point for a while. So an aware player will look up and go, oh, there's only one enemy on the point. It's going to take that one enemy a while to cap. So then they managed to kill the team because they were separated and then get back to the point in time to save the first tick. Good awareness there, honestly.
They're crashing the party.
Sombra did show up to help towards the end, but it was a little bit late there.
So it is really interesting seeing these characters that don't normally get picked, how they interact in this sort of situation. Sombra ult coming out, sacrificing herself for it, but Orisa ult getting plopped down, seeing if they can get that final cap, just so they can try pushing last. Javi coming in with a very big McCree ultimate, nobody paying attention to him.
That's how you spell POTG. During the enemy Orisa ult, that's like a triple shutdown, I think. Fight still going on the point here, though. Javi doing a fantastic job of zoning out the Orisa, though, so that Orisa was not able to put any staying power on the point there. The few DPS characters who were on the point there was D.Va and one other were just not able to hold. And again, the push gets shut down. They did get one tick, though. They did get one tick off that last push. But they had to invest Orisa ult, Mercy res, and I believe one other just to get that one tick, at least those two for sure.
So Hanzo mains managing to take a 2-0 in the round and also in the series, but we'll see if they want to stick around for maybe one more game. Most likely not, as some players do have a very busy schedule that they need to attest to. And here's that play of the game you mentioned. No, it's not even that. It's that key pick while they were trying to cap the final point.
That's just bad algorithms. I like the other play better.
Yeah.
They should hire me to pick all the play of the games.
You'll be very busy trying to monitor thousands of games going on at once, but
I can handle it.
I'm pretty sure it'll pay well.
If they pay me enough, yeah. So GG's coming out here in the chat from both teams, so I think that they're gonna call it, or they're just checking in with them right now. Actually, let's see what the.
It is a fun Friday. We're just doing this for fun, so
I mean,
nothing
it
hurts.
was short after all. I mean, shoot, if we lose two players, anybody that's watching the stream, hop on in. Looks like we might be getting another map in here for these teams. Cool.
I'm just asking, do you want maybe a team swap, just for some key picks that we might have noticed throughout the game? So
Red Rover, send blank right over.
So,
send Maple right over? Is that what you meant to say?
so who would you like to see swaps, just for balance here?
Maple.
Maple for...
I don't know. The highest player on the other team, I guess. I feel that Maple's high-level experience in comp was allowing them to put together much more coherent and well-timed pushes. Like, he was basically looking at the comp and kind of telling his team, sort of like we were, hey guys, wait, poke, we're playing for ults here. Okay, now we've got ults, go.
Yeah, it definitely looked like one team was able to coordinate and paired off ults, while the other one kind of threw them in whenever they could.
And considering that we intentionally, I guess we can reveal the secrets now, we intentionally put Maple, who's the top 500 player, with two bronze players, and they were still able to win, in spite of having a lower SR average. So that's, I think, a key swap. Wasn't Yukali the other high player?
Kali
Yeah.
was diamond, and I believe Javi is also diamond as well. So I swapped Maple and Javi with, or Maple with Javi and Stormy with Genos.
You know, Yukali is nearly masters though, and Javi is low diamond. You might want to swap them as well, I think, just to get a little more on the side that doesn't have the top 500. Like, that's a big difference. 34 or like 70 or whatever Yukali is versus 3100. That's a big difference.
Who would I swap Yukali with, you think?
With Javi.
Javi?
Yeah, so you get the high diamond player over there and the low diamond player alongside.
And by the way, I just love that none of them are hearing us discuss their fate. They're just watching the lobby and then, oh, they switched. Huh.
We're going for Nepal for one last game. Just a fun game with this team balancing. I think it's fine as is, while we were observing team interactions and how well everyone was doing. So.
All right, so these are going to be the teams we're running with here. So it is Bahathor, Tryhard, Yukali, Maple, Stormy, and Rentai on the side of heels. B-Clip, Skycode, Persoft, Tashatops, Javi, and Genos on the side of Hanzo mains now. I mean, we just made up these names earlier. They're totally arbitrary. None of these players have played before. Totally pickup game style. So, you know, nothing, nothing just other than pure fun here. You know.
That's the name of the game, Fun Fridays. So for those who don't know, this is for Scrub Cup. It was originally intended to be casters and coaches doing this fun brawl, but we have allowed anybody to join in for whoever signed up for Scrub Cup.
Traveling to Nepal.
And the United Airlines memes coming out already in chat. You know the teams are having fun at that point. So Nepal, the typical tiebreaker map, even though it wasn't, but that's all right. We're gonna run this map anyways, and we're gonna have fun on Friday. So what do you expect to see? Can you make any composition anticipations here, anyone? What do you think we're gonna see here?
Javi doing well on McCree for both games, so he's probably not going to see any reason to swap. But this is a lot different from attack defend maps, so we'll probably see a lot of compositions that we didn't see in the first two games.
I would expect to see a fair bit more diving being done. I was kind of surprised that we didn't see a lot of that before.
So Persoft really loves Junkrat, it seems. So we're going to see him continuing to run the Junkrat alongside the McCree for the damage on this on the red side, and then Lucio, Zenyatta on heals, and finally that pick comes out. Winston, D.Va are going to be the tanks for them.
So it looks like, let me just double check. So blue team is heals please, and red team's Hanzo mains. Maple on Sombra, we'll see how that works out, but you were correct. Red team doing a sort of pseudo dive comp with the hero selection.
Already Teal's coming out for the side of red and blue. Red team's up one. Now the fight is back to even, as red team actually is going up now. D.Va's gonna die out of her mag. Tryhard's gonna die. DPS are down. Everybody's down. And that's gonna be heals please taking the first fight.
My ultimate is charged.
So Javi still doing a lot of work on McCree, and Javi having spent time basically fighting everyone on either team. Nobody really having a solution for what he's been doing to them.
Maple already engaging here with Javi on the Sombra. That's not a poke battle you're going to win if she smartly backs out. The rest of the team pushing the point in the meantime as the McCree is distracted. They did not manage to get a kill though, as kills already coming out again for the side of heals. Persoft gets two as McCree. Persoft gets, McCree gets, wow, Persoft just taking down the entire team here. Javi and B-Clip contributing as well, but Persoft got four of them there. Sombra, Mercy, and two others. Fantastic Junkrat play there from the bronze player. You gotta love it.
Oh yeah, Junkrat's top tier. And here comes the Junkrat ult, just trying to shut down any hopes that blue team might have had for attacking preemptively, but gets shut down by Maple. Maple had enough of Sombra trying to answer Javi's McCree with a McCree of his own.
That ult could have been better timed. Javi's gonna now have his ult coming in here to try to defend. That's all they have to work with.
Daiko doing a sort of lackluster kind of flank on blue team gets her mech destroyed immediately because of that. And blue team trying to engage. Javi sneaking up from behind with an ult gets shut down by Rentai on D.Va with a very clever defense matrix.
Genos really tried to capitalize on that as well on the Winston, but couldn't get the kill either, as Persoft picks up another 2 as Junkrat here. B-Clip takes down the Winston. Genos is going to invest his ult here as Mercy hits that reset button. Stormy with a very, very clutch res there. Rentai's back in mech. This is a new fight as the Junkrat's down. Stormy, though, is going to die. That's no mean heals on the side of blue as time is just ticking away. 92, 93. Zenyatta ult's going to extend it even further to the side of red. Finally, now we've got Winston, D.Va, and Reaper all together for the side of blue. This is their killing power, but D.Va's going to lose her mech as Skycode is doing a great job there. B-Clip going to keep picking up kills. Tryhard with a big triple kill with his ult, though. That's what I said, that killing power. Mercy Stormy trying to come in here and do something, but her res has already been used, so the time's just going to tick away here. And Red's going to take the first fight. That was Heels Please taking the first fight.
Yeah, so we saw some... Javi is crazy. Tryhard McGee. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was Tryhard McCree. Shows how much Overwatch I'm playing. But gasps of life coming out from Hanzo mains, or Heels Please, I'm sorry. Showing that with a few swaps, they had a really good answer for Hanzo mains' composition. So maybe once they've figured things out with this next round, we may be able to see a more even game.
So if I know how players think, Maple, having just picked McCree, is going, okay, kid, you think you can play McCree? Let's a duel. So let's see what happens here with the McCree versus McCree comp. I think exact mirror comp's actually coming out here as Tryhard's going to pick the Junkrat, Genos and Balthazar are going to face off on the Winston, Maple and Javi facing off on the McCree. The only difference is going to be B-Clip and Stormy. Instead, B-Clip's going to be running Zenyatta, Stormy, and Mercy. The fight is already underway here. Blue team taking the high ground. Winston initiating to jump in and drop his bubble, but he's surrounded. He needs some backup here. He's going to die. Stormy on him for the heals, but it's not going to be enough. So Blue team going to lose their Winston right away. And there's a little bit of a split fight going on here on the point, as Genos going to jump in and manage to take down Mercy as well. So Blue team's now lost their support, their healer, and their Junkrat, as Maple's going to fall as well on the McCree. Rentai loses his back here, and Red's already have capped the point. So they're going to take high ground control right away and have good ult advantage going into this next fight.
So I'm not sure I agree with that Winston engage from, I believe, Hanzo or Heels Please, I'm sorry. Just kind of diving into a group of 6 enemy teammates, not really the best way for Winston to engage, especially without any follow-up.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of coordinated dives between the Winston and the D.Va here for either team. Honestly, this red team's Winston now going way deep through the enemy choke, as Red will lose 2, actually, while Winston out of position. Lucio and McCree both down. So Blue in a good position to force the fight to point here. Maple smartly holding the high ground, now going to drop, now getting crowd control down. Persoft goes down, Skycode goes down, and McCree just has free reign here to shoot at Winston, to shoot at Baby D.Va, and they're both going to fall as well, as Blue manages to flip the point there. And they've got both their Junkrat ult and their res very close to up here.
And here's the same players now. Bathalor actually staying with his team as Winston this time around, and the team is feeling the benefits because of that. Getting that nice defense, that nice death ball composition, giving them enough power to engage red team and just shut them down.
Not to mention, they've got the burst heals with Mercy here, so that's also where they're able to win these team fights. But Red Team has almost both their defensive ults up here, as they're going to use the McCree ult to try to clear some space. Javi, very good at doing that. He doesn't get a kill with the ult, but he does take down Ucali after it, forcing out the Mercy res on the side of Red. Maple going to try and shoot at the enemy D.Va, but not too much there, as Red is going to lose their Winston, forcing Zenyatta to bust his ult to try to get the rest of the team up. Although he's a little bit split from them, a little bit of lack of coordination here. Doesn't seem like Skyfo, Code, Javi, and Tashatop's know where B-Clip is. You're probably going to invest a sound barrier there, I'm not really sure why, but it's going to keep his team alive through this fight. As long as they have control of the point, you want to just stall, so that's fine, actually. Red Team trying to regroup on the high ground. Their Winston's going to come up main as the D.Va initiates with her bomb and to break it down, plus the Junkrat ult coming in is going to get them 3 kills. They're going to push the point with all of their characters. Javi picking up 3 kills in a row on that McCree, still doing amazing work for them. This man is a monster. And red team finishing up that fight, they're going to flip it back. It's now nearly 50% to only 65. So if they can use the McCree ult here to clear space, the Winston ult to stall long enough that perhaps Zenyatta can get his ult up, this could be quite a good stall here on the side of red. They might even be able to close this out with this set of ults.
Still, Heels Plea is doing a very good job of maintaining the point, getting up to a nice 65% when it was there during the whole point. D.Va ult coming out, Winston trapped it with his bubble, managing to protect his entire team. Blue team finally engaging, takes it even on both sides, with the Winston ult coming out, trying to cause some mayhem.
Genos did an incredible job of shutting down the enemy D.Va ult there. That was amazing. Didn't win the fight afterwards is just semantics. That was a great bubble. Now, unfortunately, Genos here just arriving just too late to use his Winston ult to stall, which is what he was going for. They managed to get it up to 86% though, so one more team fight, they should be able to win this, but now or never, as it's 78 ticking for the blue team here.
It's really beautiful seeing blue team managing to finally adjust to each other's play styles and making a difference, whereas in the first round we saw a very clear shutout against their favor. They're now managing to push it back and making themselves a very dominant force in this fight.
Blue initiates right away with the sound barrier as their Junkrat goes down, but Winston jumps in and he's staying alive. He's distracting a lot of the team. We're gonna see Stormy kind of hiding off the point here, getting a little bit too involved if you ask me, grabbing a res, but Maple managed to take out an enemy support in Zenyatta. Skycode uses his ult to take down the enemy D.Va as the fight just continuing on point here. It's 99, it's now or never as Red continues to pick up kills. Yukali with a big move on the enemy Lucio. Yukali with another kill coming in as Lucio here, the DPS. Persoft gonna pick up a kill as Junkrat, but then Tryhard responding with his own Junkrat ult to get 2 dirty kills, taking out both damaged characters. That's probably gonna be it. This Blue's still alive. Mercy's still alive as well for the side of blue. Yep, that's going to be it. Red team's Winston finally going down, and we're going to see a 1-to-1 here. So it could anything can happen from here.
And who's to say that Junkrat is an easy throw? Very beautiful Junkrat play coming out, and there's actually a lot of times where both Junkrats manage to save their teammates by using that little conk grenade, that little detonating mine, to launch their attacking enemy away from teammates that they're trying to defend.
Welcome to the Himalaya.
Well, that was both Junkrats really doing a lot of work there. We saw Persoft really getting a lot of kills on Junkrat, but then we saw right at the end there Tryhard won the fight, won that last fight because taking down both Junkrat and McCree from the red team. And we know that McCree is impactful on that team. We've seen it, so that was some huge ults against to get.
Javi actually abandoning McCree, identifying Orisa's really strong power on this map, being able to just chuck enemies into the pit and get really easy picks off. So they're already engaging on the left side, but Winston on the blue team engaging already, managing to actually get a pick with the help of Junkrat and D.Va coming in as well. We're going to see this is actually going in the favor of blue team now.
Just too much spam damage coming in here for red team to really do anything about it. Their Reaper is trying to get a pick on baby D.Va, but he doesn't manage to do it anyways. Junkrat now going to get staggered as well. Perhaps should have just jumped off the map there. But yeah, we saw a split push from red there, and we saw a great push across pillars on the side of blue. They're just popping those Junkrat bombs in there. Winston jumps in right away. D.Va gets in from the side because she can fly over the gap, and Tryhard already up to 90% on the Junkrat.
And Javi already giving up in the Orisa, seeing that it's just not working. The immediate payoff isn't enough, and he swaps over.
So now blue smartly falling back together towards the point here, forcing red up towards the pillars. Red does have the advantageous positioning though on the high ground, but blue has the point. So which is more important here, as blue's going to lose their Winston to a Reaper headshot. Yukali in there trying to get a cute boop as Lucio, but Skycode's going to zone him out as the D.Va finally forcing him back to point and actually killing him. Rentai now going in as D.Va, but they've already lost their Mercy, so it's just going to be a matter of time here. They do still have the point though, so they're just going to try and go and stall as long as possible. Red has won the fight, but time's still ticking here in favor of blue. Finally going to flip it here at 45%.
So, ult economy right now is sort of equal both ways, slightly in favor of red with the Zenyatta ult ready, along with the Lucio sound barrier, 2 very powerful ultimates used in the game. But the Mercy res in the pockets of blue team ready to come out and undo any damage that red team manages to do if they waste ults on the first engage.
If they play this res well here, this could be an enormous fight here in favor of blue, but they've got to wait for red to use their ults. There's 2 ults on the side of res right there. They're going to use Zenyatta and McCree. Yukali with an almost huge boop, but boops heavy onto the point. Kills Yukali and Rentai with that ult. Maple's going to invest his ult on the side of blue, taking down Zenyatta, but maybe a little bit too late. No more kills coming out here as Tryhard getting Reaper with his Junkrat. That's not a kill you expect to see. And blue does manage actually to take the point here, and they didn't even invest their res into that. That was huge.
That was actually a really good opportunity to use res, but Stormy actually playing it very smart, realizing that this is going in our favor. I don't need to waste res to win this fight, and holding on to it so that they have it in their pocket for whenever a next engage goes bad.
That's a smart Mercy play there, because Javi did get 2 really good kills with the High Noon, but immediately they were able to respond. So you don't need to res right away. You get a long time to do it. And he saw, oh, I don't need to do it. That was very good discipline. Now, Maple in the back line of red team. They're trying to get a coordinated push, but he picks up a kill. Tryhard picks up a kill, and Rentai invests his ult to finish Javi, and that's going to shut down Red's push here. Reaper versus Reaper fight going on by the choke here, but Winston going to show up to help that. As D.Va versus D.Va fight going on here on the point. Skyco going to realize that he's alone and try to back out, but he'll be out of mech, and that's going to be a really good stagger here on the side of blue as they wait to kill the D.Va just a little bit longer. She finally goes down. Now Junkrat kind of caught out alone here. Javi going to try and do something here. He's realizing it's now or never. It's 95%. Lucio gives him the ult, and Javi going to use his High Noon from across the point. Lucio going to get on to contest just in time, but Javi is going to go down, and Steve doing a great job zoning out the hit scan there. Reaper is on point contesting for the side of red, but he's all that's left as Tryhard gets another big double kill with his ult right at the end. Skycode's going to clear a little bit of space with his D.Va ult, but Janice is going to go off the map, so D.Va's the only one that's actually left, and she's pushed off the point. I don't know if she can get back in time. She does, but she gets moved off again. And that's going to be it. Now we're seeing 2-1, and what a flip here.
Incredible. And I'm loving how many characters we have just with knockback potential. D.Vas and Lucios and Junkrats just throwing bodies around. Just something you really want to see on these maps with these very dangerous, very prolific death bits.
We saw on the first fight, on the first map, rather, there's very clearly defined spaces where basically every team pushes and every team holds. So I think that Heels was able to out deathmatch the other Hanzo, but here now on these maps where it's a bit more about pathing and where are you going to hold? You're going to hold pillars versus this. Here, you're going to hold elephant versus the other side. We're seeing Hanzo be able to coordinate better on their pushes. Red team's pushes were very discoordinated. The blue team was able to spam into them. So blue team going to be running here. D.Va, Winston, Junkrat, Reaper, Mercy, Lucio, what they've been running the whole time. And on the other side, it is an exact mirror comp once again. All right. So blue team already has control of the point here as kind of Red is being forced back into their choke a bit. Maple right behind gets the Mercy and combines damage with the Junkrat. What coordination there. Taking down Skycoat as well, who's going to lose her mech, and then he's going to wraith out of there, force Genos to chase him. Winston's now alone, drops his bubble, but it's not going to matter because Reaper's still there cleaning things up.
Tryhard McGee just having a ton of fun on Junkrat. You see the enemy team just clumped up in this tight hallway, all of them there. That's a happy Junkrat.
Oh no, D.Va just got her mech back and she's just gonna feed more ult here for Reaper and Lucio, who gets the boop kill. Wow, now Reaper and Lucio on the side of blue have 65 and 56% respectively.
And Yukali doing really good job booping as Lucio. This guy's booped just about any class that would have ability options to get out. He's booped Winstons, he's booped D.Vas. He could probably boop a Pharah if he had the chance.
I think I'm in love with Maple's Reaper. I think I want to marry it. He's out here just distracting the entire red team, not letting them get any push as Rentai distracts their front line, rather harasses their front line. And Winston's forced to jump by himself just to get some sort of space. He needs ground here. Winston right in the face of Maple though, as Maple knows who to target as Reaper. Winston's going to be forced to invest his ult. Big Lip doing a good job hiding off the point here though, damage boosting Javi as that McCree, knowing he can damage quite a bit. Maple going to use his ult to kill both support players though. That's probably going to shut down this push on the side of red. He's continuing to fight the tanks here as Persoft does get a kill on Lucio with his ult, then goes down to Rentai, and Maple finishes off Genos and Javi. After the fight, we're going to see Stormy use her ult here. Which did actually force out the ult from B-Clip on the other side, so it wound up being worth it, as B-Clip got caught in Tryhard's trap and died, and it's going to be a few other easy kills here. Easy picks just left on the side of red, just going to charge a little bit more ult here for the side of Hanzo mains.
Both teams clearly having just a blast playing with these really rare characters. And honestly speaking, it's pretty fun to watch. You don't see this sort of composition anywhere else.
B-Clip. B-Clip pulling out the pistol as Mercy and trying to take on Reaper 1v1 because why the heck not? It's the end of Fun Friday. She's going to be the first to go down. Javi is going to go ahead and use his high noon off the point and just shoots the Winston shield. And now and they're just literally having fun shooting at each other. Kills coming out here on the side of Hanzo, and they're going to finish it off here. Junkrat just shooting himself off the point. It's whatever. He's waving high midair, and that's the end of the map. Thank you guys very much for watching today.
And that was fun. So, Hanzo mains might have taken the first 2 rounds, but because Heals Please won the tiebreaker, it is now in favor of Heals Please taking the series.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Win the tiebreaker, you win the set. So, that was really fun, and it sounds like the other team, or all players, had a blast playing the game. It was very interesting.
Yeah, Maple did have 38 eliminations there. That's definitely work being done.
So yeah, definitely a very interesting event. All bunch of heroes that you almost never see. It was great fun to cast. I hope the players had fun. I hope the spectators had fun as well.
You know, I do see the teams talking. They might play another one. They might just keep playing for a while. You know, if you guys are having fun, we're having fun. We're gonna let these teams keep playing, and I'm gonna keep casting. I don't know about you guys.
We'll just do one more to close this out. We'll do one more balancing. Well, I'll ask the teams, do they think it should be balanced? They don't know. So we'll do this on Assault and Escort for Umbani. And I believe Pibs is just taking a quick bathroom break.
Yeah, I mean we've seen Eichenwalde, we've seen Hanamura. I feel like we should go with some payload heavy map. Maybe a Gibraltar, maybe a Dorado or Route 66.
Okay, so you're thinking we'll do payload only.
The trade negotiations are going on.
Looks like they're going to be trading their playmakers here. Maple with Javi both having very dominant position for both teams.
Isn't that ironic? Earlier when we were doing the balancing, I thought that Yukali was going to be the one rather than Javi, who are the 2 diamond level players in this match right now. Javi is a much lower SR player, but having a huge impact in the team setting here. So that's really cool to see.
So, teams agreed we'll do Maple for Javi, and we'll get started on Route 66.
Well, heck, we ain't done yet, y'all.
So it's going to be Javi's quick shot McCree versus Maple's top 500 experience, and we're going to see which person is going to be able to lead their team, I guess, as these have become the unofficial leaders of their respective teams, to victory. Matter of fact, it'll make it a lot easier if I can start referring to them as Team Hav and Team Maple.
I've just switched it up so that on the stream now it's heels mains versus Hanzo please.
Why not, right?
That's a great idea.
Let's just, yeah, exactly. Just to clean things up and make it concise and easy.
Because what fun is it if I can't confuse everyone watching?
And then if we have a game 4, or game 5, I'm sorry, we'll have please mains and heals Hanzo. We'll just make this more increasingly confusing as we go on.
No, it'll be Team Javi with Javi on the other team.
And then we'll have a bot named Maple, and Maple will just be kicked from the server.
Makes sense.
Alright, Pibs, so we're already getting started for Route 66 for a unofficial Game 4.
Although neither team has picked their heroes yet. So, just a beautiful day here in Route 66. Doing some nice map exploring here. So we're going to see from the attackers here, that's Team Maple. They're going to be running D.Va Winston with a Sombra Reaper and Mercy Lucio on the defense. Here, Javi's team is going to be running McCree and Junkrat. Tryhard's been getting clutch kills with his ults on Junkrat, so sticking with that. Bahathor is going to be running
You can keep up with me?
the main tank Orisa with Yukali for congestion power on the D.Va, and Zenyatta Mercy. So actually, about as far from mirror comps as you can get with these limitations.
I'm excited to see this interaction. Maple on the Reaper, which she was doing so well last game, and Javi on his stable McCree. Stormy is still on Mercy, and Tryhard McGee still on Junkrat as well.
Attack commence. Escort the payload.
So blue team opting for a hold on big Earls right now, allowing red team to just get that free push. I don't remember the team names anymore, I'm too confused. I'm not the one who swapped them. So Orisa, I'm sorry.
The Orisa shield is out already on the blue team here on top of Big Earls as poke damage coming out from both teams. Persona is going to jump in Persoft and die right away as Winston. Man, that was Sombra trying to come around the back, does manage to hack the health back at the bottom of Big Earls. Reaper's going to use that health back right away, finding D.Va down there. There's another fight's going on the cart here with red team's D.Va being taken out of mech as she's being really focused down, and she's going to go down here. Mercy's still trying to heal here, but she dies as well as Zenyatta really aware there on the support battle. But they do lose their Mercy as well as Maple is holding out on top of the gas station here. Man, he is good staying alive. Finally is going to go down to have a Persoft's Winston's going to go down as well as Geno's trying to throw himself at the cart. Nope, smartly going to back out as D.Va. Still trying to lay down a little bit of damage though.
I love that romance between B-Clip and Maple, just Sombra and Reaper, buddies in crime, just going out behind enemy lines, stealing health packs and getting free picks. So, red team just trying to regroup right now, but Javi managing to trying to sneak behind. I don't think the D.Va D.Va finally notices that he's here, but there's no follow-up to help her out.
Genos is a very greedy D.Va player, showing a lot, and look at that on cue. Genos loses the mech as Sombra is also just recently died from the side of red, so they've really got to back out here, but Genos is going to try and poke enough to get the mech back. Havi goes ahead and uses the ult to kill Sky Code, and that's going to shut down their push even further. Even though Havi dies, I don't think that's going to matter. Tryhard's sending in his ult. Maybe we're going to take that down though, so you're not going to get any value there out of the Junkrat ult.
We need to get the
Red team having a spawn advantage right now, and taking advantage of that fully, getting a pick on Javi, which is Maple, or blue team's very clear damage dealers. Maple trying to get behind enemy line, just trying to cause mayhem, and Sombra ult coming out, seeing if it can take care of these pesky tanks and very skill-oriented heroes.
Well, it's at least getting him a lot of push on the cart here, as Maple's going to go ahead and take down Bahathor. That's the main tank down. Rentai on cue shuts down the Reaper ult with his Transcendence, but still push coming out here from the side of red. Still more push coming in. D.Va tried to shut it down with her ult, but overshot it and ended up on the high ground. So Yukali back in mech, but no ult left. Rentai and Stormy still both alive though, so they've got 2 supports, a DPS, and a tank here. They're trying to get a soft disengage. Still free push though, coming out on the red side here for the card, as Maple is gonna die. So that's gonna be big as the side of blue is starting to have the reinforcements win. Puppy Clip gets a huge EMP off. Sky Code uses the res. And the D.Va ult coming in from Genos to clear space is gonna kick out Rentai, is gonna shut down Blue's numbers as Stormy goes down as well. Red still overwhelming him here. Winston right in the face of everyone, uncontested here. Yukali trying to contest his D.Va, but gonna get zoned off. Skyco trying not to die to the Orisa here. Someone needs to pay attention to her.
Cart! Oh no!
And
I was very clearly winning that fight, but they forgot to stand on the cart.
I think I'm supposed to say Cloud9 here.
That's what it feels like, and I'm sorry, Javi was actually doing a lot of work behind the front lines, but one person can't do literally everything, and while he was getting those nice picks off, there wasn't anyone to defend the cart.
well, that's what you see when you've got bronze players and stuff in the room. You know, mistakes happen. We see pros make those mistakes, and that's just what happens. So right away on top of the high side here, Maple sneaking in his Reaper, gonna single out Stormy. This is... he's reaping, he's creeping, and he didn't quite...
He couldn't follow him. But the damage is done. He managed to distract him for a little while, but distraction doesn't win fights. And while Red Team managed to get a lot of free push, they're going to be sent back to spawn with a very nice team.
Sure, but importantly now they've actually pushed the cart far enough where they can have a few rounds of approach now that are completely viable. They can come out from the high ground, they can come out from where Persoft is, who's gonna jump in by himself. This is definitely just becoming a meme game. Persoft gonna go down because
The Persoft special.
I think he just wanted to say hi to Try Hard and the gang over here.
It was friendly monkey. So blue team actually sitting on 6 ults, with red team having about 4 ults of their own. But if that Sombra manages to get her ultimate, it won't make a difference for blue team whether how many ults you have, or you can't even use them. The D.Va,
Well, there's a couple kills there from the side of blue actually, as the D.Va ult gets invested.
the D.Va ultimate snipe, just getting behind back lines, managing to go straight through that tunnel and getting a Lucio on the other side, which is a very strange explosion radius. So red team just struggling to find an opportunity to get inside, just trying every possible vantage point, and blue team answering it as just this giant death ball. Sombra ult coming out, Lucio ult trying to keep everyone alive, just thinking they can capitalize on it, but Sombra ult is running out right now, and red team now has the perfect opportunity to use their ultimates, which they immediately do. The Zen ult shutting down Maple's Reaper ult. And red team's, or blue team's still sitting on a hefty pile of ults ready to use. But Mercy Res is still ready to come out, ready to undo any damages that blue team manages to do, but Javi managing to pick off Mercy. So this is going in favor of red team. Unless this D.Va will pull a miracle, I don't see this work.
Rentai has done an incredible job shutting down both of Maple's ults. The timing has been top notch. Red team still alive here though, as Winston uses his ult. B-Clip doing a little bit of work in the backline as Sombra fighting D.Va, but Bahathor going to drop the drum, and I think that's going to be enough to win blue this fight. Sombra goes down, yeah, D.Va goes down. Red team's sort of trickling in. Skylord looking for a res. Gets only one. It's D.Va out of mech. Although there comes the EMP on the side of red. Okay, now we're getting a little bit of push on the car. A little bit of split fight going on. Havi takes out Maple and B-Clip. That's going to probably shut down the push because red has no DPS left. I'm not sure if they know it yet though, because they're still contesting. So Lucio and D.Va still alive here. D.Va loses her mech. Lucio is discorded no longer, but he's going to die to D.Va there. And that's where the push is going to end, right underneath the bridge there on the street space of Route 66.
Score 0-1.
So that was very interesting. So red team managing to take advantage of the structural advantage, the high ground advantage that they were able to maintain throughout the entire defense of that second cap. Blue team really struggling to find an opportunity to get in, because any approach that they attempt would just be shut down. If they approached from mines, they would get focused. If they approached from the tunnel, they would get focused. If they approached from that little valley right there, they would get focused. So they didn't really have an answer to the very strong defensive line that the enemy team was maintaining.
Plus, the defensive D.Va was doing a great job of protecting the backline anytime that Sombra got in there. Not to mention, there were literally 2 times that Maple used ult as Reaper, and the exact moment that Maple pressed Q, Rentai pressed Q on Zenyatta and just eliminated the ultimate entirely. I've almost never seen timing like that, and it happened twice that match. So
Do you think it might have been an issue with Maple telegraphing his ult? Because that's a really big problem with Reaper players is if you have an ult, it's very clear that you have it if you just run straight into a group of enemies and you're not shooting at all.
That could very well be. Although Maple did show some good awareness in the King of the Hill map on waiting to engage, but King of the Hill is a very different monster.
So Red Team actually trying pretty much the same composition that they had for offense, except with Persoft on Junkrat instead of Winston. Probably not going to be able to give a Persoft special unless he conk mines directly into the enemy team, but we'll see how this works out.
Persoft special, I like it. So Red opting for a very aggressive hold here on defense. D.Va, Junkrat, and Mercy up on the high ground, just outside the enemy spawn. They don't want to give like any free push on this payload. They're going to try and get a bunch of poke damage off here and charge their ults quickly. Poke damage from both teams coming out here. Skycode and Maple gonna trade positions as Mercy takes the high ground. Persoft still only gap jumping, damage from the back of that Junkrat. Gonna get himself out by using the explosion. Winston though with a very deep dive here, teaming up with D.Va for the side of blue, trying to take down Persoft and Tash Tops. Not able to do so, but the cart is still moving as Red has lost their damage. So they're just gonna back up until they've got their damage character back. And Sombra, Junkrat continuing to be allowed to just lay down damage. Persoft gonna have his ult at 5% here. If he's not killed soon, they're gonna have a problem on the side of blue. Winston knows that, trying to jump on him, but decides to go after Lucio instead. D.Va ult coming in. This could be big. That was huge!
Heroes
Oh,
never
but
Mr. Rez coming on the other side. Wow, two huge plays on both sides here. Persoft is finally going to use that ult though to get 3 ults, but in the end, Red's going to come out on top by 2 players as they lose their Sombra again. B-Clip might want to consider a swap here. Persoft going down 2, and it's not going to matter because Blue just got the checkpoint.
And that was such a bizarre trajectory for that D.Va. I didn't even know where it was going to be landing, and I had an aerial view of the entire thing.
So here, Genos very aggressive on the cart, but Maple is split from his team trying to fight Tryhard at the back here. Tryhard, he knows Tryhard's got that ult, but he manages to kill him rather than defense matrixing him. Maple determined to do as much damage as he can as D.Va here. Ults in the air, doesn't get any value out of it though, unfortunately. Red's still holding though as Persoft uncontested on the high ground. B-Clip's gonna go ahead and use that EMP, now I see why he stayed. Persoft gonna trap Rentai in the trap, but is it gonna be enough as he's the only one left on cart? Maple trying to contest his baby D.Va, gonna go down to Winston, and Bahathor able to push it in there all the way for the win.
Final score.
So